HL, Alienware, Betway, Logitech G, and Pay Safeguard.
If a viewer turns into our stream, what he wants to see is the best possible CS. It's important that players can focus on the game, right? That's why we fly them in. As soon as they arrive, we take pretty much care of everything outside the game. So we make sure they're in a good hotel. The standard is fairly high. We never go below 4 stars. Most of the time it's 5 stars. The hotel needs to have very good breakfast. A gym must be there. The gym should be open 24/7. If you play as much as they do and for such long periods, they need to be healthy. So a lot of them, if not all of them, spend time in the gym to stay physically fit. The rooms should have a certain size. They still have twin rooms for the most part. And then we provide room just for practice reasons. So we set it up with 6 PCs. They're identical to the machines they are playing their tournament matches on. We make sure they get the food they really want. We approach each team individually and ask them, hey, what do you like today for lunch, or what do you like for dinner? Whatever you feel like, we will get it for you. If you travel as much as the teams do, hotels become kind of your home, your second home at least. So it's very important that they feel well taken care of and homely at an hotel, which is hard. You need to have a work-life balance, right? For a lot of people, they have a 9-to-5 job. For players, it might not be 9 to 5, but there's still hours outside of gaming or practice to just endure those long days. They go and they enjoy the city life, just walk along the river, just socializing. All those things are important because it leads back to being healthy emotionally and physically. My main goal is to make sure they're happy, so they can just focus on playing great CS.
ESL One Cologne.
Now, to separate up the two series and to ensure that the game starts when it should, I was supposed to be hanging out here and having some fun doing a quiz. Have you seen Chad?
I think he was off talking about sometime he won in a match here against some French
Titan or something.
I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
pay much attention to him.
So I haven't seen him. You haven't seen him. Maybe Stunner. Stunner, have you seen Chad? Sponge, have you seen him around?
I was looking for him. I found this guy though. He's really hyped up. I guess England did something today in the World Cup. It's kind of a big deal. It's coming home, he says. And I'm kind of gonna ask you, Malta, is Smooya gonna bring it home too? Smooya! Smooya! Okay, perhaps we don't yell about it. I don't think that's completely necessary. Now, Malta, what do you think about this atmosphere so far, man?
Oh, it's been absolutely rad. Like, the vibes down here are sick. You can't describe it. It's pretty cool.
Slightly indescribable, I believe, is the verbiage. Now, listen, this is a tall task for Big. Big are on home soil, but also, this is FaZe Clan, man.
Yeah, man, they're pretty good. Like, Nico, Guardian, Rain, Carrigan, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, I guess that is it.
And Croman.
You can't forget Croman. Croman's definitely done his little bit of work here while he's been here on FaZe, that is. Whoa. Oh, no, wait. I'm expecting a package. That works out. Are you,
Yeah, I've got a special delivery from DHL for you.
Okay. Well, I guess I need to sign for this, right?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. How about that? I wonder what this package is. Perhaps we take a look.
It's got a drone in it.
Yep. DHL specially delivery.
Oh, God. He's throwing cake at them.
Some people have no shame.
No shame at all.
None at all.
They're like, hey, Chad, we'll give you a single cake pop.
Yes.
if you go and throw them at various members of the crowd.
This is your career, Shad.
Yeah, this is
what it's got to.
This is how far you've fallen. Throwing cake at people. I do have to say though, I think OJ looks pretty good at the DHL colours.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, really brings his
In
eyes
another
out.
life, I think he could have done that as a job.
I think so too.
And here
Just
we
knocking
are,
on your
the
door.
Royal Parade coming through. Incredible scenes as the loyal fans look on. Chad Spudge.
Oh, OJ. He's just had his knee done. What's he doing?
Fireman's carry.
The delivery.
Okay.
Express delivery. Thank you very much. The handsome
Sorry about that, I got a bit
representative.
hungry.
Right.
Did you bring us, Sonny?
They're all gone.
He's here
All
now,
of them?
though.
Yeah, I got rid of them. I think I blinded a couple people on the way.
Right,
He's here now, though, so let's go to church.
Alrighty.
That's going to be my catchphrase now.
Is it? I
Bring
like
it back.
I do like that one.
Yeah, but the catchphrases have developed over the years. It actually started rather humble beginnings. I remember the very first ESL One. I was actually covering a different game. I was sitting in the crowd just watching it, loving life. And I mean, that was the NIP finally getting their trophy. That was the debut, right?
That was the one where they won their first match.
That was the
I was
first
also
ESL
watching from home.
Yeah.
You know.
I lost that one.
You were there.
I think I beat Flipside 16-3 at that
did.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good win.
Did you get through the playoffs?
No. But I made it again the next year.
Right. Okay.
And then we beat Titan.
And then now you work here anyway, so.
Yeah, he's made it.
Yeah.
Either way, of course, ESL One Cologne didn't even start in the Lanxess. It has, of course, evolved and grown as all esports tends to these days. And we're actually going to go ahead and take a look back at how ESL One Cologne 2014 began.
For this tournament, since we have played two other major tournaments, especially ESL One in Katowice, where we lost against the Polish guys in the finals. And now we got even one more chance, and it's going to be our first time to charm, if you ask me. I'm just hoping that we have what it takes to win the game.
I think this might be the highlight of the day, don't you think? It is going to be Cloud9 and NIP. And are they going to come from here? Flash once, he's waiting. If they peek at the same time, there's the one kill. Forrest turns around, sees Zed in hand. Shroud is right there. Forrest takes him down. Now it's a triple. Can he get the quad? He's got 5 bullets. He misses the shot. Are you kidding? There's nothing runs. Forrest wins it. Are you kidding me? I don't think NIP can actually seal this round. It looked so good. Just a few seconds left here. 7-6 left. Freiburg goes for the kill. He's going to pick it up. If Just Exist survives, he's going to win the round. There's no time. Oh my God, Freiburg, are you kidding me? 2 more shells in this Mag 7. Grenades to follow. Forrest still alive. And oh, they're kidding me. Get right. It's now FaZe alone 1-on-4. NIP. Absolute resurrection.
We're always make it somehow in the end, and I'm just super happy.
They've won multiple championships all around the world, but the one that eludes them at the moment is one of the majors. And it'll be Exist and Get Right at Freiburg, and they're only 1 frag away from the final. It's Kaylee versus NIP. Ninjas in pajamas charge into the grand final.
Unbelievable. I've never played like so many close games in my whole career, and I've been playing for like 15 years.
This is revenge time for NIP, or it's Fnatic's turn to take it once again.
Wolfmeister will find the shot on Exist. Freiburg does return, picks off Pronex. He's still here, though, and he's going for more. 2 big frags. That third man is here, however, and Freiburg has to back off. But Freiburg somehow opens it up single-handedly. All 3 frags.
All he has to do is stay alive, and it's going to be great. Oh, he picks up a quad kill. Freiburg comes in, he sprays. Freiburg misses, and it's the ace. He picks it up single-handedly. ruins Fnatic.
This could be a turning point. That has got to be shattering for Fnatic.
It's a 3-on-3. Fnatic last time the retake didn't work. This time they're feeling more solid. Gerard coming up from behind, but he's also alone in a 1-on-2. Throws out another grenade here. Gets up another kill. Is it happening again? Pronax is alone. That bomb's in the middle of nowhere. He's gonna have to sit out. Oh, he goes down. Gerard clutches it. It happens again. And here it comes, 2-on-5, JW and Flusher. There is nothing they can do any longer. NIP have won Gamescom 2014.
Right, it's time for a little bit of fun. Now, previously we did a quiz. Of course, the MSI mystery box is up for grabs. And I've grabbed myself this is gonna be my representative, my helping hand. What's your name, bro? Tom. Tom from the Netherlands. He's gonna teach me some Dutch, as you can tell by the fact he's 9 foot tall. Chad, who have you got over there?
I've got Florian. And he's
Florian?
we have a language thing on here. I'm using translator to get here, but he's from Switzerland.
Switzerland?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, very impartial, but I do see he's supporting someone on the back there.
Maybe 1 or 2 G2 fans left in the house.
Duncan, the quizmaster, is back once again.
I'm here.
Okay,
right,
so
I've got my historical questions, all related to ESL One Cologne again.
Okay.
And we're going to see how these fans do helping out Chad and Machine here. So, question 1. In 2015, ESL One Cologne, it was the first big international tournament for which of these 4 players? Was it A, Simple? Was it B, Nico? Was it C, coldzera? Or was it D, Jacob? Communicate with him in whatever language you speak.
No, we're doing telepathy. Him and I are doing telepathy.
Right, okay,
we're doing telepathy at this point.
That's cheating, I think.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Conferring on the Dutch side here. Yeah.
Come on, Alex.
I've been
you
at that
speak
shop
Dutch,
as well.
It should be quick.
Okay.
You ready?
You want to go for it? Okay, we're going to go.
Okay.
We've got it. Hang on, I'll get the letter.
We're going to do a 1, 2, 3 reveal, yeah?
All right, yeah, okay.
Right, I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. Right. You were all wrong. It was coldzera. It was C.
I was influenced by the crowd.
Okay,
it's not
you
my
can
fault.
hold the letters.
Right.
That makes my job easier.
That's okay. 0-0. We'll keep going. Number 2. Which team had a lengthy streak of top 4 finishes finally cracked at ESL One Cologne 2016, the major? Was it A, Natus Vincer, B, Fnatic, C, G2 Esports, or was it D, Astralis, who love to lose in top 4s, obviously? Congrats to them.
All right,
Ready
I'm
here,
good.
Chad?
Yeah, I'm good.
Chad's locked in.
Locked it in.
You haven't even begun
Tom,
over there.
I need some help here. What are you thinking? Let's think.
Trace, do you know, is the mystery box
Not
heavy?
Astralis.
Is that a heavy box?
Okay, so Na'Vi or Fnatic?
You like a heavy box?
I like heavy boxes.
Okay. Knock the bottom out.
No, not yet.
There's got to be some sort of time.
Come on,
limit here.
Alex.
Come on. It's
We're
only
having some
4.
fun. Okay, fine. There you go.
Okay. Well, do a reveal.
Okay, we're having to speed
Throwing
this
his
up.
toys out the pram. Right. 1, 2, 3. What did you have?
B.
B. The answer was. Let me see. No, it was A. It was Na'Vi. There we go. Wasn't B.
So far,
That was all Tom, by the way. I'm not doing this.
Okay.
I'm
Right.
taking advice as well.
Third one is going to be map related. So last year's ESL One Cologne, 2017, we had a Swiss system. Now, Ninjas in Pajamas went 3-0 in the Swiss system. What was the map that they won in all 3 instances? Was it A, Inferno? Was it B, Nuke? Was it C, Overpass? Or was it D, Cash? Let's make this one a bit quicker, guys.
I'm locked in. I'm locked in.
Locked in?
I'm locked in.
You got it?
We're waiting on you, Alex.
Yeah. Tick tock. Tick tock. Tick tock.
Ready for the reveal?
I'm ready.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
D.
You were both right. It was D, Cash.
Nice.
Alex,
So-
how many you got right?
I got 2.
He's got 2, you got 1. So 2-1 at the moment.
Last
Alex
question.
leads. 4th question.
Alex can win it here.
Now, this one's going to be a bit easy, but this idiot's told everyone, so everyone's going to get it. In 2015, Renegades beat which of these teams at ESL One Cologne? Was it A, CLG? Was it B, Titan? Was it C, Luminosity Gaming? Or was it D, Dignitas?
Lock it in.
I didn't realize I would feature here.
Congratulations, Chad.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I mean, the amount of times he's made me watch this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do a reveal.
Best
1,
games.
2, 3. It was, of course, B, Titan. That's why you don't give away pieces of trivia about your career, Chad.
Well, at this point, Alex already wins.
You've got,
I can't
no,
win.
you've got a chance to tie. He's one ahead.
Oh, yeah.
One question
Oh,
left.
yeah. All right.
Last question. We're going to go all the way back to 2014. So, Copenhagen Wolves, Danish team, played at this tournament. Which one of these players wasn't in Copenhagen Wolves? A, Pimp. Miss you, Pimp. B, AZ, still around. C, Glaive, obviously just lost. D, Carrigan, gonna play soon. Which one was it? Was it Pimp, AZ, Glaive, or Carrigan? Didn't play in Copenhagen Wolves, ESL One 2014. Ready?
2014.
He's having a little think. It's the last one. Chance to tie?
I think I'm ready.
Okay. Let's see. Deliberating, last second.
Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. The answer was B, AZ.
It's a draw.
It's a tie.
All right, we
2-2.
need a coin. We're not doing rock, paper, scissors again. Who's got a coin?
Again.
Who's got a coin?
Who wins?
Or why don't we open the box and see if we can distribute the prizes?
Everybody
Yeah.
wins?
Socialism.
All right, open
Yes,
mystery
okay.
box.
Let's
Here
have
we
a
go.
look.
European Union, we're going to go with this.
One, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 brought to you by MSI. What a beautiful product this is.
All right, that's quite a nice prize.
Maybe, Chad, you can hold this
well,
one.
I think I was pretty good at this.
And
we
then
have
perhaps round number 2 of the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 by MSI. Now, with that said, of course, I think congratulations. Yeah,
That's it.
That's it. That's all she wrote. And I guess for you guys, let's get ready to get into our next semifinal. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be jumping into it right about now. Don't go anywhere.
Germany's heritage of Counter-Strike greatness cries out for an heir worthy of its legacy. Gob B was the last mastermind to lead that proud nation to a major. And with Big, he seeks to develop a new core to similar heights. Tabson is the star talent of this crew, and spent last year elevating them to the status of dangerous underdog. Next is the erratic but undeniably talented wildcard Big relies upon to provide them with the requisite firepower to make a splash. Newcomer Smuya is the undisciplined but exciting prospect Gob must shape into Europe's next star if Big are to again soar to the heights of international playoff finishes. A focused hierarchy, precision timings, detailed plans. Classics never go out of fashion, and Big embody the spirit of tactical Counter-Strike in a new era of play. The home crowd awaits a favorite to cheer for, and Big seeks to fill those mighty shoes. Vodafone presents the pre-match.
It's time for us to venture once more into the semi-finals. Our second taste of Counter-Strike action, this time with the home crowd. They're going to be going absolutely wild as they did just yesterday. An unprecedented, unpredictable performance from Big. Berlin International Gaming, we're in Cologne, it all makes sense. Certainly why the crowd's going to be oh so loud and proud, but still, we do have them going up against undoubtedly the favorites for this matchup. It is going to be FaZe Clan, and I'm going to be introducing and breaking it down with none other than Yenko YNK Paunovic and Duncan Thorin Shields. Gentlemen, thank you for hanging out. And this is a weird one, isn't it? It's a semi-final. There's undoubtedly a crowd bias and an analyst bias. I would imagine FaZe Clan at the very tippy top of your list.
Oh, definitely. You know, with Big, they did a great job first to qualify for the playoffs. Then in that series yesterday against G2, the way they absolutely thrashed them after grinding out the win in overtime on Cash. Then on G2's pick, Dust2, they absolutely dominated them, 16-1 win. But FaZe is a whole different type of a beast. They're a veteran lineup, played multiple times on stage. Even with Croman, who's a stand-in without Olofmeister, they won a tournament in Brazil on foreign soil, so to speak, yet again. So I think for FaZe, they are a massive favorite in this matchup.
It definitely does seem to be the conversation, but Big's performance yesterday, Duncan, does seem to have at least given us not only something to talk about, but something to perhaps craft the story of another underdog.
Well, especially because they've been underdogs the whole way. Remember, they started out with beating Team Liquid. That was no joke. Obviously, they had close series against MIBR, against Renegades. Then they had this amazing blowout against G2 to get through to the semifinals. So they've had the big wins. They've had the grind-out wins. They've kind of shown us a bit of everything. So I think it's going to take both kinds when you play against FaZe Clan here. You're going to have to do very well on your map. You're going to have to be able to stay in games. You've got to try and craft something tactically, even though I agree that's going to be very tough against a team with a stand-in, against a team with Karrigan, known to mix it up a bit. So I think the ingredients are there for Big, but we've got to have those epic performances. We've got to have the big smoothie plays. We can't have anyone kind of shrink on stage. Yeah,
this performance on Dust2 is probably the one that sticks out most in our memory. I have the bracket here, and I mean, they've taken names like Team Liquid out of the equation. They had a good, fantastic performance versus not only Renegades, but that MIBR game, and then G2. Like, these are not slouch teams.
Absolutely not.
These are teams that likely feature in your top 10.
Yes, they've barely faced anyone, basically, who looked like they were a favorite against. So coming from the underdog story again and again and again and again, the thing is, you have to frame this. As much as I agree, I think FaZe is the favorite. I think there's many maps they can win on here. They still do have a stand-in. That's not just going to work forever. Like, it's actually a joke that you can win this many times with a stand-in. So if there's any cracks there, this is a real squad. And on the other hand, you've got a team that's using kind of a makeshift lineup.
Yes, but we have to remember, you know, Croman has been performing really, really well this tournament. In that series that they had on Overpass, Croman was leading the way on the CT side. I don't think their opponents are really ready for that. You know, you're like, Olofmeister is gone. He's such an incremental part of that team. Whoever is there is just a placeholder. It has to be Rain, Nico, Guardian doing most of the heavy lifting. But even him, from that position of a stand-in, he has no pressure on him, really. You know, seems super comfortable with his role at the moment. And just the whole team has been playing super well.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, there was an interview I think Nico did with HLTV, Duncan, you drew my attention to it, where he did say that, you know, I don't think Croman necessarily is the right fit for a permanent fifth, and I can't help but feel that might devalue or, you know, remove some of the acceleration that FaZe may have if there's already that conversation being had.
To give it some context, to be fair, here's the thing. Yes, they won Bella horizontally, great. They might yet win the Grand Slam, but as we said, first of all, it's not a play they've had a chance to practice with a whole lot. They even said they basically didn't practice for Bella Horizon. They just went and played off skill. Again, that won't last forever. In a world where they do have to go up against the Astralis the world over and over again, you want to have the real lineup. You want to feel like we got a chance to properly prepare. So I think, yes, in the short term, it's been working really well. Props to Chrome, props to Exist before. But you are still looking for a real lineup. You know, the motivation is going to lag, morale's going to drop if you have those losses when you don't have anyone and you feel like you just picked this guy up last minute. So I think, yes, he did an amazing job. But is he the right player for a team that wants to be number one in the world? I think we can have that debate. I think it can work on both sides. Sure.
It's certainly a conversation to be had.
Depends how he can prove himself and in which areas of the game, right? People maybe underestimated Olof's impact in that lineup. He was their go-to mid-round player in all of those defaults. He was always making the crucial mid-round decisions, right? And getting either in very important positions or getting crucial kills when the round was nearing its end, right? Croman is more of a guy to me that's just very good mechanically, very good aim, and he can just, you know, when he's on his game, similar to Lecro, get a lot of kills, a lot of headshots. So if you're going to keep him, maybe you need to move players around, but I think FaZe would more than anything else like to have all of that.
Now we are starting the Veto conversation shortly. I do want to ask just a kind of follow-up question, which is, while we're painting the, the underdog story can continue if, did we see that FaZe Mirage? That was the performance versus Fnatic that did kind of sober us up a little bit and remind us that they can underperform and they can look weak. I mean, Fnatic dominating them on Mirage.
Unfortunately for Big, that's their permaban, so we're not going to be seeing Mirage. What's interesting for me, potentially for Big, is Nuke, right? They only played it once. I don't think they're going to go for it, but that might be something that they could target against FaZe if they feel like they need to throw a curveball in the Veto. But probably with Cash and Train, I think FaZe is going to end up vetoing one of those two maps, and I think what's left, that's going to be Big's pick.
That sounds about right, Duncan, to you. We'll start bringing up those vetoes and we can talk through them. Just looking to see what those initial bans are. So
if I am the Big clan, yes, I'm definitely taking Cash out. That's a really scary map to play, first of all, against the Mix, and anyway, against Carrigan teams, he's put a lot of work into it. They've gone with Mirage anyway, so at this point in time, I actually look for Cash as a potential pick. Okay, FaZe themselves have banned it. Dust2's got to be on the table for Big after that game yesterday. It's a map they've been picking recently. We haven't really seen much of FaZe on it. It's not really one you necessarily know.
I think it would be a mistake if they pick Dust2, especially into a team like FaZe. It's one thing to beat G2. That win was exacerbated by the fact that G2, after such a close loss, I think they were just deflated in that second map. You're going up against the likes of Guardian, against the likes of Nico, Rain. Those are on a different level types of players compared to Body Existence and Smiths, right? So it's not the same thing coming into that game and having to win a lot of duels.
And Carrigan, obviously, very well-tenured leader, calling on Dust2. So actually, bizarrely, it's FaZe that picked Train into Big. I thought actually Train might be a possibility for Big to pick. This is actually Carrigan trying to throw something out there in the Veto, make it a little bit unexpected, because I expected this was Overpass all day long. I thought that's like a pretty obvious pick you could take here. It's probably a favorite for you, so a little bit risky here.
I was expecting these two maps, just opposite teams, to pick them, really.
Right.
So I guess we get the same thing in the end. Overpass against a team like Big, maybe you don't want to make it too complicated. They're very structured, and you don't want to deal with that. But then again, you pick Train, and T-sides for FaZe on Train have been super, super flat. Nothing too elaborate, mostly just trying to go for some early openings, contact plays, and it's difficult on Train. It's not a map like Mirage, Cash, even Dust2, where you have a lot more room for those plays.
And it is actually Big who choose to remove Overpass, so definitely some curveballs all round, an unpredictable Veto. We'll see if it continues then with our last choice, Inferno.
Seems very likely Inferno comes out here. Like, if you're FaZe, you're not really confident enough in Nuke to want to play it here. Why not just make it a comfortable map? Most teams, if you notice, don't mind having Infernos to decide it. Everyone feels like there's something you can do with it. You can get something done on both sides. And if you're the better team, why not play a comfortable map?
And if you look at Big, I mean, I hope they haven't just slipped into the mindset of we beat X on it so we can beat Y on it. But big win on it against MIBR on Inferno, and a big win versus G2 on Dust2. I mean, if you think about it that way, they've already had a bit of a confidence boost.
I mean, even against Liquid, right, and they were comfortably beaten by Liquid 2 times on Dust2 in Belo Horizonte. So I think for them, they're going off of what they did right yesterday, but they also mostly just played one half of that game even, and they knew that for G2, that was their weakness on Dust2. Their T side, they're mostly good on CT side, right? So what Big has in store for a team like FaZe is going to be interesting to see.
I'm very, very interested to see how this one does go down. Before we start breaking it down on the first map, Dust2, and getting into specifics first, an introduction of your casters. The voices that are going to be shouting along with the crowd is none other than Henry G and Sadakis. Gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. I think shouting along with the crowd is going to be hard to do. It's going to be trying to shout louder.
Trying to keep up with them, I think, is going to be the main issue here. It's going to be a difficult game for Big, but they showed great character. They can perform on the big stage. Took down a big team yesterday, but this is a different kettle of fish altogether. FaZe, especially a map like Dust2, they're not going to roll over like the French did.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what the point. I mean, someone asked me earlier what I thought the series would go. I said I had to see the maps first. Obviously, I expected Dust2 to come out, but even still, look, we saw G2 had a bit of an off day on it yesterday. They played well against Astralis. I don't think Big get it quite so easily, but I could see them still picking it up if they continue with the form they had.
Well, a few maybes there, Alex, will throw it back to you at the desk.
If, but, and maybe. That's certainly what we try and avoid here at the analyst desk, but it does definitely get thrown a little bit disarray when you have Big in a semi-final in Cologne. No one saw it coming, and now, with the vetoes locked in, we know just how close things are going to get. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, your initial perception of this veto, is it similar to that of Matt's, that now things are getting interesting?
Yeah, I don't really get FaZe's pick of Train. I hope they put a lot of work into it. I would have expected something else if Big already picked Dust2 for them. That was maybe a bit of a weird one. Perhaps even Overpass over Train would make more sense. But I think in the end, the way you need to play against Big is pretty clear no matter the map. Their utility usage is even better than Astralis's. So you saw how Navi approached the game just now versus Astralis. Some off timings, contact plays, try to catch them in between, you know, those nades, and also try to keep pressure on the economy. That's what FaZe is going to go for, and that's their natural play style in the end, right? With likes of Guardian, Rain, such amazing individually skilled players, you do like letting them off the leash a little bit, and we've seen already in this tournament what they're capable of. So for Big, this is, you know, as tall of a task they've had to face yet.
Yes, a tall task for Big, and also a tall task for Stunner. And I only say tall because he's about 60 feet in the air. He's at the View. We'll check in with him before we get any further.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richardson. I'm here with Jason Moses O'Toole. You might know him of his commentary fame, or perhaps a Once Upon a Time Counter-Strike story. But today, Jason, we're here for Big versus FaZe.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. One more test for Big. I didn't think they were going to do it yesterday, and that looked incredible. That was a beautiful performance from them. Gabi continues to just create winning lineups. This is very impressive stuff out of him.
Very impressive stuff indeed. Now, Rain is, in fact, the architect. I cannot stress this enough. This guy is consistently building hurdles for his opponents to jump over. If we look here at some of the stats, ADR here for Rain, 102.5. It's a little wild.
Yeah, I mean, you know, with his style of play as well, he's just going to roll in there and get people blasted. Like, this is going to be some incredible stuff out of him. He loves being aggressive. It's going to be really tough for Tapson to be able to handle that. He's someone who's got to produce for this big side of things if they want to have any kind of a chance. He is that star player. You can't consistently count on Smooya quite yet to deliver.
Well, Smooya has definitely done enough on his own, but I also think the tactical mastermind that has Gabi here on home soil. We're going into Dust2 as the first map, and I can't think of a better playground for Gabi.
No, I mean, it's going to be cool. It's that game of structure versus the freedom, and these individual players on the FaZe side of things, can they handle it? Nico has talked about how they play so loose. That structured style is supposed to be able to counter that directly. The problem is, can you actually research well enough to know what's coming out of FaZe?
Well, what's coming out of FaZe and what might be going into Big is what we're going to be jumping into. But right now, Cologne. Cologne, are you with me? I need you to make some noise. Cologne, can you do it? Oh, I love to hear it. We're going to enjoy the view. Let's get into this matchup.
We're really relieved making it through to playoff. It's a big dream always to play in the arena here in Cologne. It's the biggest we have in CSGO. So right now I'm just relieved, I would say, and I'm looking forward to play at the semis.
We are about to play against FaZe, and I'm looking forward to that game. It will be a really tough one, obviously. The maps will be really hard, and yeah, they are seeking to the $1 million extra. So I think if we go prepared in the game, have our communication going on like we did in the last map, it's gonna be a really close game, I think. So we will be prepared, and yeah, we just have nothing to lose yet. It was like really amazing moment when we went through the crowds, and yeah, I was waiting for this moment for like 4 years almost. It was like I was dreaming, but then after we went on the server, I was totally focused, and I was just totally in the game. I tried to motivate my teammates as much as I could, and yeah, it worked in the end.
I think what we have shown lately since Olof went out of the lineup, we have proven the whole world we can win with 3 different players on a short time, a period of 6 months. So I think using a stand-in brings the best out of us, I would say, because we know we can rely on our tactics, and we cannot rely on the 5th guy in our team. So every Cologne I've been to, I've been playing in front of the crowd. The Germans always a very amazing crowd to play in front. They never hold with one team. They basically just cheer for great CS. And that's what I love about coming to Cologne, that maybe besides Big, nobody has the favorite in the crowd. So hopefully I can string the favorite to us by speaking some German, since my German family is here in the arena today.
I think Germany going out in the World Cup maybe gave the gamers a little bit hope that we can do something big. We always try to give Germany hope with our team, with our organization, and I hope we delivered this time.
I mean, we have shown lately when we won Sydney and we won Belo Horizonte, it means way more than it did when we won with Olof. I think it's because the hard period we're going through as a team, that every time we lift the trophy, it means a lot more that we are fighting for the trophy. And it feels way better, and hopefully this feeling in Cologne will be a fight for the trophy as well.
Yeah, I think we are able to take the trophy when we play our A game, and with the crowd in our back, everything's possible in my mind.
It's still fighting back 2-on-2 here, but not for long. That should be it now, and there we go!
What a shot to close it as well!
All right then, Cologne, here we go, second semi-final here in the Cathedral of Counter-Strike. It's all about that trophy and a place in the grand finals. And as much as Thorin talks it down, we're about to take you to church, baby, but instead of a normal church, like a really rowdy one where everyone's drunk, and instead of a preacher, we got video games. If you think Big are gonna win this, let me hear a hell yeah! Oh my, so then let's meet your two teams. It is David versus Goliath. It is going to be epic inside here, inside the Lanxess, inside this cathedral. Please welcome FaZe and Big! FaZe, they are a team of absolute rock stars. Yes, they've got a stand-in, but still massive favourites. But every now and again, they have a moment where things don't go to plan. And what can you say about this team, led by Godby? It is going to be an epic moment. We didn't expect them in the quarters, we didn't expect them in the semis, but they are here to play. All right then, everyone take your seats for the biggest semi-final today. It is gonna be epic, whatever happens. I wanna hear from you. Who's winning this? Is it FaZe? Okay. Is it Big? Is it FaZe? Is it Big? Let's get a semi-final on, baby!
Germany has been absent from the Tier 1 Counter-Strike map for some time now. Big looking to put it back there and already find themselves here in the Lanxess Arena. A semi-final against some of the game's scariest players and personalities. Forged into one team jersey, and now it is Big Clan's opportunity to truly do what many consider impossible. FaZe Clan, a terrifying opponent for any Counter-Strike team, and this in particular for them. They've got a whole crowd, 15,000 people begging every round to go their way, and imagine if it doesn't. It's cutthroat.
This is a very much uphill struggle for Big. You know, to put it into perspective a little bit, they don't have a player in the top 15 of a tournament right now. Tapson just outside of it, the next just out of top 20. Rain is leading the tournament statistically, and just a stat that you won't see on HLTV is Rain in rounds where his opponents and his team have the same equipment value, so mostly pistol rounds and full buy rounds. Rain averages over 100 ADR. So in the most impactful rounds is where he delivers the most so far for the team. So I hope that, you know, for Big's sake, they will have guys like Tabsen, Smuya, their heavy hitters, play up to par, because without that, they can just get blown out of the server.
That is an absurd statistic.
Absolutely, yeah.
Rain essentially is killing one person every single time it's a full gun versus gun round. That's madness.
Meanwhile, except for when you saw that amazing G2 Dust2 game, Big's been creeping by a lot of their opponents. It's been real tough matches. They've had to win those clutches. Obviously, Smooya's come through with some big games. We've had the odd performance from Nex where he lived up to his form. Yeah. Tabson's obviously been pretty good all-around player, but it's going to take all of that at once. You know, it's not just going to be an easy match against a team like FaZe Clan.
FaZe, even in their wins, yes, versus Fnatic, they dropped a map, but the other 2 maps in those series were extremely dominant by them. Very comfortable win versus MIBR as well, right? They haven't been truly tested yet, and that's why you feel that might be a way in for Big, right? This is, albeit first game for FaZe on this stage. Big played yesterday, so they got into the swing of things a little bit. Those jitters are now out, you know, for guys like Smooya, who are still Tizian, who are still very much inexperienced, right? So that might be a way in for them. They're definitely going to play fearless. They are playing way above their, you know, average level so far in this tournament. It seems like, you know, whether it's the crowd or something else, they are on point. Their communication seems very much on point. So you are not going to see the same Big you would expect maybe at a different tournament.
It does feel like they have the opportunity of just press pause as soon as they kind of sell it. It looked like they'd won the whole thing when they won that quarterfinal, their reaction to the crowd too. Now, if they could just press pause, press play as soon as their bum hits that seat again, this could very well be a very close series, Duncan. What are those win conditions for the likes of Big? We know how FaZe are going to win, but how do Big make this crowd happy?
Well, first of all, as we saw in the last semi-final, you know, this is a team which itself has had some moments where it's broken down, where it's been in a big pressure moment, it's been that tight game. Obviously, ideally, like you saw at the end of the Navi, if you can have them on T side when that's happening, you have to call a play. The CTs can sit back and just react. Yeah, these kind of scenarios, you've got a chance to win. You know, they have broken down before. They haven't won every tournament. They've said themselves, we should have basically had the Grand Slam already when we had Olafmeister. Then you look at the fact that, as Janko pointed out, their own map pick from the FaZe Clan is a bit of a weird one. They've tried to get a little bit funky there. Maybe it turns out they're out of pocket a little bit. They should have gone with something safe like an overpass. So if Big can get Dust2, which is certainly up in the air, then they'll have a shot on that one. If you get to Inferno, I will say I think that's a tough one. Obviously, the FaZe Clan is very good on that. But then again, no one expected Big to be here. There's no real pressure on them.
It's time, Cologne! German Counter-Strike on the stage, a semi-final, and FaZe Clan, the star-studded roster, standing against them. Over to Henry G and Sadekist to bring this one home.
Well, it might be Germany on their stage, but they've got a hero from yesterday from England. I'm wearing my royal purple, Henry, and it's already come home once, but can he do it twice on this map in particular?
Time will tell, Matthew, but for now, it will be a T-side start for the hometown heroes here. Big picks Dust2 against a team like FaZe map. That's an audacious play. It's a high-fragging map, but they seem well-versed on it. They've got a good defensive game, but Carrigan, he at one point was the king of Dust2 of TSM.
Absolutely so. Defined the meta a long time ago. It's, you know, say TSM rather than Astralis for a reason. Obviously, Cajun B was much part of that as well. Guardian's already pushed up into the tunnels and far forward. He's going to get a lot of information. No guarantee he'll get much from it, though, because Nex is certainly aware, and taking him down will awake the crowd to the first delight, because it's the first kill of the game going in favor of Big, and it opens back up the B side as well, which forces the defense to reconsider and reposition.
There we go, nice opening pick for the Glock there, but Nex takes a lot of damage as he gets digged in response. He'll be holding towards the lower B area now. I assume it was Rain that inflicted that damage. As they head up towards short, they still have a smoke and a flashbang here, but Nico looking to get information, and he gets a bit more than he bargained for. Takes down Godby in the process, brings things back to a 4-4, and Carrigan's got a fantastic position to shut this one down.
Yeah, this new car I actually think is an upgrade. At first, when they removed the flame, that reticle that used to be a problem, I thought not, but oh my goodness, Nico. Shut down Tabson as soon as they cross out. It was only a 1-for-1 from Carrigan. He can control his peak, but Nico and Rain will do the better work. It was actually Rain to find Smooya, 27 seconds, and didn't really get that close to the site, despite that they got the opening pick. So FaZe take the opening pistol, they'll take the economic advantage as well. Question is, how do they run the AWPs on Dust2? We know they've been leading off to a double up setup quite frequently on their CT sides.
Indeed. Nice to see Godby with the AWP as well. That's been a little addition to their arsenal. And Tabson picks it up from time to time, but obviously Smooya is the main order of the squad up against Guardian on a map like Dust2. He must be feeling brave today. Guardian, I guess you could say, maybe one of the world's best Dust2 players in the AWP. So scary, whether it's the T side or CT, this cause absolute havoc. So we have small timeout here. With no bomb going down, you would assume that Big will be force buying here in round number 2. So far, Gob.B has purchased up the Smoke and P250, waiting for his teammates. I assume we have a slight technical issue there. Indeed it is. Have a look at the FaZe buy. You can see it coming in on your screens. It will be the M4A4. Of course, for Nico, got 3 kills in the pist after pushing long, completely dispatching of every big player in front of him. Guardian on the scout. You're going to see a lot of scout action this map, and guarantee that is the replay of the nice calm clicks from Nico as Rain came to back him up. Great stuff there. So we have 2 rifles in total for FaZe, 2 SMGs. You're going to see a lot more MP7s now, but you're aware a couple of weeks ago it was buffed in a sense. It was lowered by $200 in value. It's now $1,500 to be more in line with the other SMGs. 1-0 for FaZe, we're back into the action, and it's not actually the full purchase I was expecting from Big. They get upgraded pistols, but getting those smokes down. The objective here, Matt, purely get the bomb down. Presumably they go towards short and try and get the wall of smokes in their favor. Maybe 1 smoke for Xbox, then get up short, smoke the site, try and plant. They'll be holding up very slowly for now. We saw a lot of this yesterday.
So Smoothie just holding up to see if anyone does push. Yeah, I'm going to hold the lower tunnels as well. He can spot toward Catwalk in case the CTs want to post and be ready. Not necessarily guarantee they do so, but with SMGs, it's not uncommon as well. Good to see that they brought out, okay, fair enough, good shot. Guardian off the scout, he's going to get a bit more damage, but does go down. Good to see them bring out a few rifles as well. I remember as far back as late 2015 when the SMGs were very prominent on the second round. Teams like then Luminosity, even before they even switched over to SK, and obviously now made in Brazil, used to run 5 SMGs Dust2, and it used to bother me because you still need so much range on the CT side of this map.
You absolutely do, and that's why they got the FAMAS. The M4, still a 4-on-4 to be fair, but remember, Big do not have any sort of armor, so they're gonna encroach towards middle. Flashbang's decent. This is making Rain a little bit uncomfortable here. They're going for the split. There's only 1 player waiting inside now. This could actually be a little bit problematic. It's Croman, the young rookie. Hold up B bomb side. They're doing a great job so far, but only good for 1. That's certainly going to allow for a plant here. Can they find anything more?
Next, trying to get position with the Deagle, has Nico overrun him. So you're right, it was all in for the plant, give it the smokes, they get it down, they'll boost things forward. Nico, Tizian. Goes for the kill, it's on to Smoothie, but 11 HP. He can try and hold off the window, maybe, with a lucky shot if he strikes right. But the timing is in his favor. That certainly was the case. So not only the bomb down, but 3 kills, that's a successful round.
Absolutely, they didn't force bind for that either. They could actually have the option here, Matt, if they wanted to, considering their modest purchase before they could get Galil's armor, maybe a couple of AKs here, considering they got 3 kills, I would say do it. Doesn't look like they will. I thought that was a prime opportunity to try and steal a few rounds away, but I guess that's not really how Big operate, is it? They want to grind out rounds correctly. They want to be using their strategies. They don't want to get themselves in a financial hole. It does make a lot of sense. They are really based around the utility and making sure they have every tool they could possibly need. Obviously, the AWP is a massive factor on Dust2 as well. It's a bit of a partial bias. You see CZ here as a scout for Smoothie as well. It's interesting to see whether he will be able to challenge Guardian. Had a great showing yesterday. Really warmed up into the series against G2, but a second map he was really high flying. And now round 3, can they get another plant down? That will be the first objective. Very common, like I said before, to get up towards short. Try and flash over. Plant in front of the bomb side boxes. You see Rain in CT spawn trying to deny any sort of tomfoolery like that.
Inside of the doorway. Scope jumps back. Just be careful not to be blocked by his teammate. Oh, I'll give him that to try and get the scout in that position. Guardian, meanwhile, MP9 goes back out far too many fire at with that weapon, especially when they have armor. So he will, in fact, go down and deal out very little in return.
Yeah, this is looking a little bit troublesome for the FaZe clan. Nico exposed as well. If he misses one of these shots, he's going down. But he doesn't miss that often, does he? As he takes 2 down, pulls out the Deagle, and Smoothie will finally get it, but there's Rain. He's going to be sure he denies the plant at this point. Tapton might be out of luck, but he's making his own. That's a nice shot, but Carrigan finishes things off. So finally, the round comes to an end, and once again, 3 players go down for FaZe. Exactly. They've got no bonus action really here. They need to scrape together what they've got to get the full buy out.
Yeah, I mean, exactly that. And not only that, Nico's going to have to be the one to purchase the AWP. Hasn't given it to Guardian as of yet, who's still on the MP9. I'm just looking at Spawn.
Spawn's not great.
It's not great for either of them.
So
Nico's gonna hold it. He wants it toward the A site instead. Maybe Guardian can build back up his own bank. That's the plan. If Nico thinks he's sufficient enough on it, Tizian, meanwhile, is going to go back out already through the long doors. Flashes, smokes down in the corner. He's close up. They've also got Nex out toward the dumpster, so big problems for Kerrigan. Support, they see problems, and he manages to find one. The support not good enough. They know there's two. Smooya hits it with the AWP as soon as he arrives on the scene. Now Nico's AWP becomes the linchpin. They are pushing back up into B. Get back the information on the other side. That's in direct response to the fact that they've lost the battle on A, but they've also spotted so many players. So it does fortify in somewhat that they pincer them off to that side of the map. Nico still has pressure on that he has to hit AWP shots, should they even go that direction. Meanwhile, if they go back, which they look to do, Guardian wants to flank. He only has an MP9 to do so, which is a lot of ground to cover. Going through Suicide's a bit smarter. He might actually get close enough that he can catch them off, and they won't be quite so ready for it. It's all timing at this point. He'll see the utility. He knows they're in mid. Plays the box so as not to get caught off by anyone going back through their own spawn. And he's just hoping that a little bit of luck will play into his hands. It has, but only for one. The MP9 only so good from that range.
Well, it's going to leave Nico with a lot on his plates here, and he'll fall at the first hurdle. This should be a round for Big now. They're heading up towards short. Utility deployed. It's their calling card, and it'll be the end of Croman. First round on the board for Big. Nice opening transfer at the start, managing to use the flashbang, trade out kills towards those long doors, and you can see the retake from the CTs trying to flash through the smokes. The Carrigan will take him down.
You can see the benefits as well of getting the 3 kills in the 2 rounds early on. Guardian's left with the MP9.
Yep.
I think with a rifle there, he gets 2 kills. On top of that, they're already reset. They'll force what they can, surprisingly, and bring out 2 M4s, but this is really all in from FaZe, and a desperate attempt to try and shut down the money and Big early on, knowing that they can get rolling like yesterday we saw very clearly against G2.
Absolutely so. Shorts control granted, but held off by the smoke. I guess they could boost behind if they really wanted to, but CT's there. A bit of a stalemate here as the smoke blocks the vision. Carrigan could be caught out. He has no idea they're so close. It's getting awkward now, but Nico's there to back him up. But once again, Big come out on top as they keep finding frags in every facet of the map. 4-on-2 now is at the Guardian of Croman with bare bones utility and an MP9.
Yeah, you say bare bones utility, 1 flash, that's all. Nex is already on top of the A side. I don't think that they're gonna even leave B. If they went all in at this point, the M4s could be far too valuable. Only a 2nd round loss bonus. That's the look at the money. This is desperate now. Big should bring this 3-3. I say that and would probably be wrong, but statistically speaking and based on how things are playing out, this should be a tie game in 2 rounds.
They're looking solid now. These have been some really impressive takes towards short, especially good trade potential. You can see Nico there with the M4, normally good for 1 or 2 there, but Big positioned correctly, ready for what could be on the other side of that smoke. They took it down, and it's up to Guardian and Croman to save their weaponry. It's an MP9, you can see Guardian has got the M4A4, they're both positioned towards B. They will save the weaponry. So yes, you're right, it should be 3-3 after this, but a save M4 in any of the players in FaZe hands could be a different story.
Yeah, it is an open map, so the M4 has to be in the perfect position early to get 1 or 2 kills minimum.
Sure.
If it's on a retake, if it's on a rotation, you're gonna have too much ground to cover. I don't think it really applies at that point in time, but sure, we'll give it a chance. It is in the hands of Guardian as well.
Yeah, you want to play like a car or A-ramp, something like that. I hope they go towards short again, then you've got that shooting gallery. But I'm not sure it'll be that easy. Big would like to eradicate risk. He's going to be boosted up here. They're not going to sit back in the passive angle, but Tizian.
Oh no, that flash.
Oh my goodness, I thought he was going to go down there. Rain is a bit of a beast with the USP, but he actually eats the grenade for breakfast there. And he'll be going down. Nice try, managed to survive longer potentially than he should have done, but there we go. It's going to be an early 5-on-4.
Gives them control once again of long. Guardian's not relinquishing position from Catwalk as of yet. He'll play off with Nico, hoping that if he gets a kill, he gets a gun at very least. If they find Guardian, maybe Nico gets that back in his hands. This side wide open as a result. Massive B as well. This is really reactionary based from FaZe. Similar to what we saw in the first gun round, they take long and they immediately fall back to middle, but Guardian is ready this time, not in Suicide, but in their face with an M4. Miss shot taps, it's a huge problem. That M4 is now pulling things off as it gets 2 kills, bomb goes down. 46 seconds to recover, but Nico got the gun. Exactly why he was playing behind Guardian, and Kerrigan with a pistol closes it out.
Well, there we go, Matt. No 3-3 today. It's the M4A4 Guardian boosted up towards shore, and some awkward angels there from the team from Germany. They do find themselves dropping one by one. You can see Elk trying to get the grenades out, trying to lock off shore, but Guardian was so relentless with his peaks, kept ducking and weaving, managing to find 3 kills in total. Then Nico picks up the M4 to finish one off. Carrigan, nice work with the USP towards CT spawn to find Tizian. Double orb set up for the first time here. Smooya anticipating a pit above that smoke. Guardian not going for it. And here's Tizian again. He has been abusing this long area. Could he go for the double frag? Could happen. There's no trade response. It's very messy as Carrigan does bring it into the 4-on-4.
Smart play from Carrigan. They were both blind. Tizian could have gotten away with both, but rather than stick around to try and find that fight, he ran to the pit knowing he had a chance to get away and isolates the one-on-one, and then he stays alive. For a moment, Nico's going to take down Gombi. That's going to force the committal at this point to the corner. Every time, we just mentioned it, that they get long, they fall back. It's starting to be red. This time without winning it. Carrigan knows he's going to have company, but he's not quite ready for the angle, and Nex brings it 3-3. Same thing though, as soon as they win or get even trades toward long, they slow things down. Tapson's already looking behind them, and Croman once again is going to push up B. If this starts to become too predictable, FaZe will start to hold off Catwalk a lot, because it'll shut down any play after they take long.
So Croman's making his way to T-spawn. He's basically locked him in towards a long area now. If they do want to fall back and head towards shore, he's at least getting 1 kill. Either way, Tapson actually holding him to the B area, so that means he can just patrol the tunnels, but watching T-spawn as well. They are walking up. Nico's ready for it.
It's the same thing, yeah. Nico's going to watch that, but Guardian is anticipating that they could have gone backwards. He can still turn, he can still have the AWP ready in that position. Nico's got the other one to cover off the cross, takes Tapson early on. And Guardian now knows, oh no, goodness me, to be ready toward the ramp, but he didn't anticipate that Nex had gone so far. That's going to allow the bomb plant 2 versus 2. Still an AWP in it for Nico to work with, which gives them the chance to try and fire toward Pit, but that's going to be a bigger problem now that Smooya's got Croman. He knows he's out toward long somewhere, but he's still looking for Nex. Smoke in the corner means that Elevator's not a threat. Shoulder bait. Nex makes a perfect shot. 4-3.
You can see Big wants to try and use that long spawn as much as they possibly can. It's looking successful for them. Tizian, the one usually with the spawn, makes his way out, and he's finding a trade pretty much every single time there. They had Carrigan isolated in the pit. Sure, went down to the 4-on-4. They knew he was stuck in there. Nex took him down, and Nico fighting tooth for nail, but as you can see, it was him to go down in the end. Had both angles covered. Smooya with the orb towards the pits. Nex watching the CT area. So they will have an AWP here. Nico purchases that. They've gone for a complete force buy here, knowing that only 2 players from Big survived the previous round, looking to reset them in return. So 1 AWP, 4 pistols. They have got a kit, and 1 smoke, which is now being deployed as long control comes in once again. It's pretty much a Big have gone every single round.
Play, good flash. Carrigan got both. More than he's worth, absolutely. Bomb stays forward as well, which Nico doesn't quite see from his angle, but they have to commit beyond where he is possible of attaining. So he steps out and he's able to get the AWP in position. Tizian could have problems going for it. Look at Smooya. Creeping, not enough! It goes too quick when he's already posted. Smoke again, that actually gives Tizian a chance, but Rain's aware that he's likely going to go for it. Almost baited him back into it. It was quite clever in that regard. Tapson left against 3. Elevator is in service, and Guardian shows us why as he gets the deagle on the wall.
Can't argue too much with a FaZe force buy when they can get an AWP in a map like Dust2. Then it's Carrigan opens things up there, reading the fact that Big have been going towards long time and time again, using that spawn. They had the control. I think he used the classic flashbang, bounced it off the wall, and round he goes, and they are all lined up for him. Can be a little bit brutal with the timings there, but that's fantastic, and Smooya's not happy about it at all. They'll be on the force buy now. You can see Deagle, CZs, they've got not a lot of utility, but Guardian's opening things up. That's a lovely shot to take down Tapson.
Great find early on as they immediately drop to suicide to try and rush to Cat quickly. Guardian, having gotten that kill, will call to Nico. It's very likely they're going to do that. Why else would they drop down with pistols? So Molotov went out an immediate nade afterward, and we saw the position already from Nico. Beholds as well. They'll slow it down slightly. No reason for panic, no reason for overextension or reaction from FaZe because Carrigan still holds long. They've got all the important choke points on the map. Inside of the B side as well. They get up a little bit at middle at doing so. 2-2 split with pistols. If they can win the duel on Kerrigan, they'll pick up a weapon, but even then, they've still got Rain and Nico. This is a standard default as you get. Rain Car, Nico Goose, Kerrigan Long, everything's covered off. The only thing that you don't necessarily have is Guardian looking for information in the middle. He's back toward the window, but Nico, Kerrigan, straightforward. Next gets one off the trade. That does give the gun to him to try and run down toward Long, but Rain is well aware of that fact. And again, there's not much to work with 41 seconds.
Oh, Rain, that was really nice and crispy. Very controlled. 6-3, that was the force fight, remember, from Big. Didn't get too much done there, a frag or two, but that's about it. Didn't have any sort of danger of getting the bomb planted or finding anything more than that. They'll be on the full eco now at 6-3. And remember, this is Big's pick. They looked fantastic on this map, especially on the CT side against G2, but like I said, getting into the pregame here, this is a different kettle of fish altogether. FaZe are not going to be pushovers on any map as they bring out the double orb setup again. Going to have a Famous for Chroman, just trying to save the pennies there. As we'll see Deagles and Glocks make their way towards the top middle, but Nico will be boosted on short. He's looking into lower B right now. Don't think he's going to get any action. See all 5 players.
Sounds like my Saturday night.
Indeed. That's all 5 players for Big outside long run now. God B has the bomb. And once again, they're going towards long. I can't stress enough, they really have gone here almost every single round. And they have been trading our frags, so why not?
Attack toward A. Kerrigan has no support. Smartly he'll back off to the cubby because he could have caught the open. But instead, he'll just pad his stats. Bad so far, 3 kills. He's done massive damage on the next as well. And another round, so 7-3 FaZe. We knew it wasn't going to be as easy as G2 yesterday. We knew they were very, okay, fair enough, next. Very unlikely they'd go much on a rampage as they did in that particular game. We knew that there was some skill to be had on the FaZe side that could certainly combat one-on-one. That was the surprising thing, I think, yesterday in the G2 game is, yes, tactically Big looked very good, but they were also winning every single duel against guys like Shocks, against guys like Kenny, guys that you would expect to be able to go toe-to-toe with just about anyone. That, I think, is what impressed me more than anything with their win yesterday.
Absolutely. I do agree with you on that. It was an impressive performance considering the players they were up against. No one had been doing anything in that series. No one was really believing, but they certainly silenced their critics as we get into round number 11 here. Still on the double orb setup, you can see money. Not amazing for FaZe, even though they've had a spell of rounds here. The same boost towards lower B. There is a customer this time. And we'll see if Nico can come out on top. It's going to be Tabson waiting for him. It looks like he's preempting this. He's ready for it. And he will come round. There he is. He's checked it. Now Nico. He knows at some point there's going to be players there. How perfectly timed is that? He's aware they'll be re-aiming that angle. He wants to surprise them, not be sitting there.
That boost, we didn't see that often over the course of the last 2 events you and I have casted this map, but when it works out wonderfully. And look at Chroman go in behind Smooth. Yeah, exactly that. He can. Smokes it off. He wants more, didn't need to. Could have easily gotten away and left this in a 5 versus 3. He's now given them, albeit a small one, a slight chance as Guardian holds off the door. He knows they can't cross back, therefore it's on to Catwalk. Nico preparing himself accordingly.
They can't go anywhere.
Bounce smoke, yeah. The problem is it was immediately counter-incendiary. So even though they smoked off long, Nico was able to push back through, knowing he wouldn't have problems getting there, and he won't have problems taking down Gob-B either. As Nex does what he can with an AK. Damage was done significantly enough on Nico. If he had to hit both, it might have been interesting, but 8-3.
There's been 11 rounds, Matt, and Nico has 18 kills and 5 deaths. Carrigan, 12 kills, and Nico is having an absolute barn burner out there right now.
He's okay, you know.
Yeah, he's all right, isn't he?
Every now and then.
Every now and then he can pull it out. But it's going to be 8-3 Big now. Money is in the proverbial toilet once again. We're going to see Glocks right now. They can, in terms of loss bonus with the 4th stage, definitely partial buy. They'll have maximum into the next one. So that'll be like CZs with their scouts. And we'll have a look at the scoreboard while we're here. It's been a hot minute. Gob-B 1-10, not replicating the form we saw against G2, where he actually had a pretty impressive game. At the very top is Nex with 12-9. I believe that's Tizian with 8. So there's Nico looking very comfortable indeed. Tabson, anything but. As they're not getting anywhere near these bomb sites. And then, like I said, partial buy coming through. It's going to be CZ's Deagles. They've got a couple of smokes. With 2 smokes, you could obviously smoke Xbox, go towards short, or go for a B split. Or maybe a B rush, who knows? If you're feeling extra spicy. They've got that long spawn again. They'll try and get that first pick, but they've got to get out first. And they've successfully pushed FaZe back. And this could be successful considering the 2 players out. First kill will go in favor of Rain, and they'll get 1 back, but this is going to be CT territory now. And it's all a bit of a fake as they get ready to go towards B. But a nice smoke from Chroman buys them some time.
It's changed now, but just to paint your picture more vibrantly, Kerrigan and Nico combined had more kills than all of Big at the start of this round.
Wow.
By 1, 30 versus 29, just to prove that I did the maths, but it's fine.
Just to prove it.
Just to prove it to you,
Show your
Henry.
workings.
I know you're doubting me.
Yeah.
Smoke down tunnels, and immediately when it dissipates, that's when Croman instigates. He'll go back through. Smooya taps and Tizian all in a line. Pretty straightforward without armor, without guns. 9-3, they continue the lead. WP this time for Smooya, though.
Here we go again.
Money spawn, by the way. This is not a great spawn for Hay at all.
Considering their tactics so far, heavily focused around that long area, that is not ideal. That's pretty much the worst one they could have got. They are sending 3 players towards B. Are they going to commit it? Looks like they might. Going to hold up the mouth of the tunnel right now. There's next to the front. Not committing. Smooya with the AWP again. He's got the bomb also. Bobby is waiting for any sort of push. That's been a problem when they have been focusing along so much. They've allowed players like Croman to push in towards upper B, catch them off guard, and they really need to get a hand on that. I think that's what they're trying to avoid right now. They've got everything covered. Godby's watching the flanks towards long, taps him with the mid doors, Tizzy in the B tunnels. They're going to get that short control again, but hopefully not get backstabbed this time. That's Smooya waits for an opportunity to find the opening pick, but no one's in middle at all. Look at this nice little setup from Guardian and Rain. One's in the window, one's on the scaffolding. That's actually really smart because Guardian can take the shot, hide in, back up the B-bomb site, and then you've got Rain, who hasn't got any sort of attention to him whatsoever.
And you're not going to check that spot.
Indeed.
It's pretty cool. I used to think that scaffolding had a really cool gap. You could see through it, but you could still be visible because it was a sort of a slanted corner. Now that it's actually more locked in like that. Interesting approach to it.
Yeah, that's a really nice setup. I'm sure the analysts can have some fun with that and explain it in more detail.
And it might actually come to fruition as well. It's one thing to spot something and then never have it happen. We see boosts like that all the time. They're looking like they could be into a mid-split at this point in time with 34 seconds. Bomb already in the tunnel. This certainly goes this direction. Guardian, he may not hit the shot, but he's got the aggro. They're not going to check Rain. Let the first one go. No, he shoots immediately, steps out, and that actually gives him up. But Guardian turns around. Having lost the innards of the site, he's able to find out where next went immediately and tries to fire back as Tizian's only on 16. Smooya has to get across as well in the AWP. Guardian blinded. Will hold for now. Needs to be patient and allow his teammates to get closer.
10 seconds remaining. Smooya with the AWP. Low. At this point, can't even plant. He did have his foot exposed towards the back, and that's going to be around. Kill him after the time, boys. There we go. Done it. Perfect. So he gets no money for the next round. They had to really communicate there. It might seem like a really small detail, but completely starving a player of cash sabotages the loss bonus they got going on. Everything goes wrong. You see Tizzy now $1,000, and it can be really difficult to coordinate that, especially in an international squad. It's a very quick call to make, and you have to just make sure, don't kill him. It seems counterintuitive, right? But you want to wait until that timer expires. He gets no cash for the next round. And Guardian plays this really well. We talked about that bait and switch, and Rain, he only gets one right, but it was still a very important frag. Threw a spanner into the works, and it will be, for now, another round where Godby's gone for a tactical purchase. He's actually bought up the AK, the armor, taking himself down to $0. Is he the player? He's got to find his openings.
Yeah, he's got one kill. Maybe this is his way of saying, right, I need on the board, I'm going to do it right now. Taking matters, you know, the bull by the horns, but at the same time, you're right. If you're off, usually you want to give it to a guy like Tapson, give it to a guy like Nex.
Well, Tapson's on 2 and 12, you know?
Good point.
I guess maybe he's not feeling it as well. Like, he's been shut down by Nico. Like, I can't stress that enough. And maybe he needs one of those players that really thrives on a good start and kind of getting fired up. You know, this seems very emotional, and haven't really seen them have much success so far as Nico holds patient. Remember, Godby has purchased an AK and hoping he can turn this round on his head. Given away the fact he has it now, fires of a shot, doesn't do any damage.
Backs off, spotted going into the pit. So Kerrigan needs Nico to babysit. This is very tantalizing as Godby tries to see above his smoke. If Nico overstepped the mark, it's all coming to Rain. He's got him behind the car, but they have no idea they pushed already. Kerrigan got away with one, so they still hold to long, and he gets a brilliant shot on Nex. Tapson never checks the corner. And it's down to just that tactical AK. Not very tact, but tactical was the attempt as it goes now 11-3.
If they got the bomb there, that would have been justified, but now he's going to be struggling. I don't think he can afford too much. He still has enough for an AK and armor, but no utility, and that's a bit of a problem considering the team he's playing for focus quite heavily on grenades. But we're going to the final round of the half. That hasn't really had the same hype in the building as what we had against G2, but still, it's not... Oh, there we go!
slightly off angle. I don't think Guardian was anticipating himself to be shown there.
That's an opening kick they needed. 11-4, definitely still possible, especially the way the CT side looked yesterday. Remember, they absolutely destroyed G2 on this one.
Look at the response. Get one in middle, get Guardian down, get to the door and go through. They're not going to slow down at all. Next leads the way, smokes towards CT. That's not unsurprising. Tabson, that is a masterful kill and extremely well timed because they were all blind. And if Kerrigan got through, he might have had a shooting gallery. Instead, it's going to go the other way. They head toward the B site. It's open for business.
Absolutely is. Final round, no saving here. Bomb only going down now. It's Nico and Rain on the retake. Is this one possible? B-bomb side, notoriously one of the most difficult to retake. And it looks like Nico will be going down his spawn. They're going for the knife attempt here. Be careful, Tabson. And he'll get it. Oh, they're liking that one. That'll at least get them a bit of morale into the next half.
I almost feel like Nico just gave up on the second shot and was like, all right, you got me. You locked me in here, just have it. Fair enough. If you want momentum, if you want a little fun, get your spirits back into it. That's one way to do it. 11-4, mind you. They've got a big deficit, and this is their map. This is the map they were dominant on yesterday, and they were up against a very, very solid opponent who, remember, if they make it into the final, have a chance to wrap up the Grand Slam.
And that's $1 million as a bonus if they win this tournament. That's absolutely insane. I don't think they'll be thinking about that too much. Just take each match as it comes and just try and play their thing. It's Na'Vi who are waiting in the grand finals already. That's happening tomorrow. But for now, first map of this semi-final. FaZe on Big's picked Dust2, up 11-4. And Big come back from this one. It all starts with a pistol round. They need to win this. Couldn't pull it off in the first half. And they're going to have 3 sets of armor. And a diffuse kit and flashbang. Who just got a headshot there? It's actually Guardian, who has the deagle at the start, goes down to 20 HP. He might want to consider giving that to someone else. And be sacrificial somewhere else, just run in and get some information.
I always love this boost when it works.
Sure.
It's a pretty situational spot, obviously, but behind the doors at long never, ever, ever gets checked. I would say go big, but those are the smallest tits I've seen this weekend. As Croman tries to hold off toward Catwalk, Tabson gets tagged down to 66. Deagle to hold again if they get aggressive, if they overextend at all. Obviously, you've got to bring out at least one of the big hand cannons in this round to try and get back into it, to claw some space away. Again, we talked about it. Dust2 has so much open space, so many long positions that Deagle is actually not a bad decision. Smoke down, Tabson's still going to try and flirt with it. Certainly suggests that they know Smooya is behind the car. Good run down. Croman. The first Rain, the second Goppy stuck on the side. He can't wiggle the other way because he knows they're out toward long as well. That box is his only friend. It seems to be enough, but Rain does eventually get around behind him, and that opens up the angle, the one that he was scared of. As Next tries to fire back as well. He's all the way down in CT spawn with 25 seconds. Bomb to go down, but he's gotten Rain. Nico's behind him. That'll buy Kerrigan the space. Hang on. Thankfully, Kerrigan gets the kill.
Oh my goodness. Glock can be a bit of a cruel mistress if the opponent is medium range and moving around, wiggling, and he can't find the insta-kill. But there it is, it will be 12-4. FaZe pick up the pistol in the second half. That was must-win really for Big. And we'll see the force spike come out in full force, as you'll see everyone fully invested, including Smooya. They know they need this second round. Certainly possible. Got a mixture here of CZ's Deagle and a PC-50. A couple of HEs, maybe Dave long at the start. Indeed it was. Guardian will take the brunt of the damage, but survive and not give anything away as he jumps out of the doors.
Smooya's still holding back toward middle. Kerrigan tagged slightly by it.
Decent effort with that shot. Couldn't quite find the head. Remember, this is the force spike. Win this 13-4, and actually probably means 14-4 because they'll be full eco after this one. So a lot of rides on these pistols. It managed to inflict some damage at the very start. That's why Guardian gets given the scout now instead of the AK-47. He'll start to make his way towards short. I'm thinking they'll probably end up. Croman watching for the flanks towards long. Nico watching the B tunnels, just making sure that no one surprises them here as Guardian hunts for information.
And Rain in tow. Scout's not the best combat weapon up close. Rain will have better chances with it. Tries to bait off the fact that the flashbang was being bounced with the shot to the door and then pushes through. Kerrigan one side, he the other. Tizian to push through and be taken down immediately by Rain. But Next does well to find Kerrigan, which Makes Rain a little bit more timid. Doesn't want to cross out beyond that smoke and get caught for it. Meanwhile, back in the B side, it's Smooya who pops up at exactly the right time, heads to show. Guardian's down in the corner, that's the bomb as well, 30 seconds, but Smooya's still in this. Holding off in the back lines, that flash enough to distract and allow tabseN to start to take hold in the window. They've got to get some ground if they want to get this bomb plant down. It's 20 seconds. Finally, they'll solve the riddle of the man in the back.
That was getting all sorts of awkward, but not out of the woods just yet. Godby's certainly going to get that kill. Looking to double down here. Can Godby pull it off? He's got no ammo. 9 seconds remaining, but he has got a CZ. It's back and forth.
He's got it. Surely he does. Yes, there's time to plant. Yes, he'll commit to it, but Godby, oh, I'm surprised he doesn't push that. He knows he's got him low enough that he can take him with the pistol. He's a sitting target. He has to commit to the bomb plant. He's still going into the one-on-one, and he'll still pull it off, Godby.
That was not pretty by either parties. Godby does keep the dream alive somewhat. Comes down to the 1v1. It was Smooya that got them into that position, holding the back of B. They didn't really allow it. As FaZe came through, he didn't have the resources to flush him out of that position. He waits and waits, finds the initial 1D, and stays alive as long as possible for the rotations. Good work by Chroman and Rain to even get that bomb down, but what an awkward finish is. Both players running out of ammo, both on about 5 HP. And we're going to round number 18, where FaZe are not going to force. So we definitely do have a chance here for big.
Corner hold. Ball thrown incendiary. Clever thoughts. We haven't seen that applied too many times as of yet. Boosted in spawn, we'll have Smooya go back out and preemptive strike through the doorway. Does do some damage. Tizzy in to take down Kerrigan. It's Rain that's the next to go around. This is an opportunity for Big, having won the last round, stole it away earlier. Means that they only hold FaZe on 12 rounds. There's certainly a possibility to pull back from that if they can be perfect with their economy throughout. Also includes denying bomb plants, which has to be the goal for FaZe. They run boost around the corner, tabseN, good positioning, great control.
There it is, that's more like him. 12-6. Big though up against the AKs and AWP. Good news, they have got FaZe on a leash somewhat. You can see they've got barely any utility here. They've got 3 smokes, 1, now 2 flashes and a Molotov. That is about it. They'll be on fully if they lose this next round. So tabseN, nice work. Finally getting warmed up in the series as he hits double digits there, Matt. Had a really rough first half. Nico certainly didn't. We'll have a look at the overall setup here. Looks like a B split. Or maybe just straight up contact B play. A lot of teams offering this at the start. They're going to try and take down Tizzy, who has to hold the weapon up here. His teammate luckily throws a nice incendiary to buy him a little bit more time and do a lot of damage towards Chroman. Carrigan now watching CT Sport. They're still going to stay on this B attack.
Smooya a little more aggressive this time. Fire back out through the smoke. That'll certainly identify the op is there, and Guardian actually gets him with the second shot. Certainly one way to play with a kitty. Shot back through Tizzy and above. They're going to know it because he threw the Molotov. He does enough damage to one, and he actually is able to take Chroman, but not enough to contribute to the other on the SMG. I'm not sure how Godby gets away with that, having taken a dink and then firing an SMG. Nonetheless, bomb planted for FaZe. They might be a men down. They might be bleeding out, but they've got Guardian in the window holding up and ready. Oh, towards CT. Looks away at the wrong time. Next gets the shot, and that might be the round because now Rain sits in the open, and Big is back in B.
Very peculiar round that. It was the initial kill straight up through smoke from Guardian to find Smooya. It seemed like the B-bombs had a collapse at that point. But a rotating game leader, Godby, pushing long with the MP7. Nico even heard him hit the crosshair placement waiting. You can see his frustration there. How he doesn't hit that shot, I'll never know. But there it is. That was the initial one from Guardian. Take down Smooya on the platform, and Nico needs to control that range. Round 20, another full eco for FaZe. This is getting interesting now. Oof, fellow.
Through the door, mind you, and from a deagle, so it doesn't do as much damage as the sound suggests. Smooya on 76. Damage nonetheless, sure, you can attribute that, but Kerrigan, meanwhile, is already up toward Catrock. He'll push around and try and get toward the site. Meanwhile, Smooya is not done flirting with smokes. Didn't go well for him last round. Try not to smoke with smoke shows either. It goes out. Not any damage from that, surprisingly. It's all about patience for the Pistols. Tries to exhaust the same principle and discipline from Big.
A bit of mid-access here, but Tizian ready and waiting. He should be able to get at least 2 here. As usual, nice utility control from Big here, just disallowing any sort of entry towards the bombs. They still have incendiaries here. That's kind of impressive, but there might be a chance upon him. Smooya misses the shot, which doesn't happen too often. They could be in trouble, but he holds his nerve. The bomb is not planted. 12-8. Remember, there's a reason why Big picked this map. Sure, the T-side wasn't as successful as they would have hoped. They lost the pistol in the second, but they pulled it back with the force buy, and now they have FaZe looking uncomfortable and frustrated at times, with a few misses coming in from the big names like Nico. But this is the first real buy FaZe have got in the second half. They finally have the AKs, EWP, and all the utility. That was a problem before. 1 smoke per player is hardly ideal. What is going on here? We can see Smooya lined up, looking towards the top right and middle there, for anyone to cross over. Guardian looks like he may be heading in that direction, and he's already snuck past. So Smooya not aware of that, but does see him now.
Smooya is certainly holding angles in such timings that he's tempting fate in many ways. Already saw him go down to the smoke of Guardian and B. Last round took Deagle shot, this time takes the early damage. He's still in it. 4 rounds, that's all that separates after. It was an 11-4 half. It's now 12-8. That's without the pistol for Big. Molotov goes over. Clear next from his position. As with the Molotov, you'd expect, as Nico reads well, a spray to follow it to catch any player in transition. It does do damage.
Yeah, it's a lovely little set piece you got there. There's 1 Molotov, spam it as it goes in, just as the CT's retreating. He either sits in the flames or dies, or takes a lot of damage from your spam, which is a little bit more improved these days. Like that spam used to be almost useless before in the old version of Dust2. Now, yes, you can get a little bit more damage through it. As we'll see now, round 21, getting to the 32nd mark. There are 2 players heavily tagged up. That's Next and Smooya. And this is like a little execution towards the A side. Smoke down CD spawn. Rain looks like he wants to drop down. And he has spotted one. Run and gun shoves the AK down his throat. And it's the first 2 kills in favor of FaZe. But is it over just yet? It might not be.
Hang on. Tapson's got the corner, but he's lost long, which means Guardian gets in position. That's a classic Kerrigan call. Indeed. Get toward A, go for the drop down, shut out the rotation, and then focus players who no longer can control their own angle. It's going to be the round for FaZe. 13-8. They'll get 1 more on the board. 2 players staying alive. Which I bring into question due to the fact that the economy is about to hit a reset. Tizian's well aware of that fact. He's happy to oblige and do damage wherever he can.
Really nice stuff there. You can see that's, you're right, it's a classic Dust2 execution. I haven't actually seen as much as that as I thought since the map's come back. It's been mainly spawn-based, scrappy games so far. But you can see as time develops, we are seeing a few more glimmers of tactical prowess, especially from FaZe. They managed to drop a smoke right on the beginning of the mouth of the short, and he flashed over as a smoke and CT spawn as well. And just as that smoke's about to bloom, Rain can see through it and actually take on the duel down in that area, and it makes things very difficult. Once he's got CT spawn under his control, you've got Kerrigan watching flanks as well. Tabson did everything he could to fight back there with the AWP. He's actually been playing really well through this tournament. He hits 2 or 3 shots, but overall wasn't quite enough. As you can see, the rotation coming through from long as well. He was caught out. And 13-8 comes in. It's the double AWP set up again for Big. It'll be Tabson and Smooya, but I can see a long spawn. It's for Nico this time. Has he been given the AWP? Yes, he has. As he faces the corner, only sees an arm and has to fall back.
And give up the gun as well. So Guardian gets his weapon back. B wants to push forward. We talked about the effects of doing so at long because it's so narrow to walk through. Even when you're blind, it seems people get 2 kills every time that happens. Switch off with Tabson, though, so an anchor at long with an op. That does two things. First and foremost, lets you fire through the narrow corridor, which is why he's looking through both sets of doors, but also lets him fall to pit if they give up A. And still a chance they might do so. Good find from Tizzy, and that's over toward B. That's the one man lurking. That's a lot of information.
It absolutely is. It's looking promising now for Big. They've got the man advantage. They have a player still at long, and it's up to God B, though. Rain will go down, absolutely.
Great read from Next. That's a direct response to the last round. They knew that they got beat on that drop last time. He plays slightly further back, up higher, and avoids utility to find this shot. Remember last time he was caught by a flash and inside of the smoke. There is a gap behind that box. That time the smoke gets all the way through. So keep in mind that Tabson still has the op. He's crept back. He knows there's no more pressure at long, so he's gotten to the car, and he's gotten Kerrigan as Gobby steps up. FaZe go down 13-9, and again, that reset comes into play.
Yeah, they haven't found consecutive rounds in the second half yet. FaZe pretty much mirror of what they did last round, and some in-game leaders will try that. If a tactic is very successful one time, you can call it the follow-up round and see if they have a response for it. But as you pointed out, yes, they absolutely did. Next, in a completely different position this time. He's not in the open, he's not exposed, and he can avoid the utility. There's no pre-aim for that position. Rain went down, and he can see them pushing towards B as well. That was a really nice call from Big. Really enjoyed it. As they hunt for double digits, it looks like they might find a great kill from Smoothie to open things up. That's Rain going down. And we can see the investment here. FaZe have taken quite a lot from this. They got Kevlar, Scouts, Deagle, CZs, and all hovering around $1,000 apart from Nico, who spent everything. He's just been dropped by Smoothie as well. This is another round for Big. They got to find those double digits, I think.
Tizzy and finding one and controlling. Don't be misled. It was Smoothie that hit that shot, not him, but I guess it really doesn't matter at that point. No damage even applied from FaZe, as it's just Guardian left in the 1 versus 5. I was sure we would see the double op setup from FaZe. You mentioned it though, having Gobby going toward it yesterday. Today it's Tabson on this map. And it's looked every bit as good, if not better. Remember, you pointed out as well, Gobby had 1 kill at one point in the first half. Obviously, he's at 8 now. It's not the most amount of impact, but Tabson certainly has turned it around. He only was only 1 better on 2 kills. He's now up to 15.
I think he was 2 and 12. So yeah, he really has turned things around. And it's going to be Next with 25 kills. You remember back in the day when he first joined Mouse Sports, he was considered an absolute god on Dust2. That's where he would just completely destroy teams, and it's good to see him posting big numbers like that on the stage. He's normally considered like he'll do really good in the group stages and not be seen in the deeper stages of the tournament, but 20 seconds remaining, and Guardian almost with absolutely 0 chances. He's got a scout and get a plant down. That would be amazing, but we'll see whether that's even possible here. 15 seconds remaining at this point. He has to either go for the plant or die. We'll see which comes first, and it will be down. As Big continue to extend their second half lead is 6-2 in the second, and now 13-10 overall. Will there be a buy here? Remember, 2 players fully invested. I think FaZe is taking up Rico. I didn't think we'd be seeing this game go even close to being this team.
No, I mean, not after 11-4, and a lot of the work that Big did yesterday, we didn't get to see a lot from their CT side, let's be fair.
No.
But it was resounding, so with that going against them, I wasn't sure what to expect. Certainly didn't think to come back in the cards, but again, it is the economy that they're managing, and that was the one thing they had to do. They had to make sure they kept FaZe off weapons. If they're going to beat them in duels, certainly one way to hinder and favor those. So Chrome and top mid, the rest through the tunnels. They want to close the distance to the doors as quickly as possible and then try and overwhelm middle, flash out to do so. No one directly in mid. Next the closest, and he'll double up on utility to try and force them away. That has worked. They were, I think, hoping to force more rotation, though, going middle, because going back to A, you run into an AWP that's red hot in the hands of Tabson. Next down below on the ramp will fall with only 1 kill, but Tabson, knowing they're getting closer, switches to the pistol, and a flash well suited. And an op will fall, but a round that will go in their favor on 5 HP. It's the man behind that Gobby sneaks up and takes down the last remaining FaZe player.
Decent effort there from FaZe with 13-11. They pulled this one back. My God, we've seen FaZe throw away massive leads before. You remember over in Brazil, the grand final there. They were up 11-0 against Mouse Sports in the final on Cash, and then somehow lost the map 16-14. We'll see whether they can find their feet here, but ever since they lost that second round force buy, they have not looked the same. They look a little bit shook up as we head into round number 25 here. Big much better as they stabilize. Got plenty of cash to work with, and Carrigan trying to abuse a long spawn here, but will he account for the player that's already crossed? It might not even matter. Tapson takes him out of the equation, but Rain has snuck up on the side. But what a shot! Next is playing out of his mind right now.
That's so huge. They may have lost long, but they took all of the site completely, and Next just annihilates both of them. He finds Nico as well. That's bought so much time that Croman, despite being on the site, won't have much in safety of trying to plant. Nades come through. Fractional damage. He's playing it on the safe side, short side of the box.
Unfortunately, that nade gives away his position. He might have been better off just coming in for the flank. They had no idea he was there. Smooya throws the incendiary, and Guardian flashed up. Can he stay alive here? Misses another shot. It looks so uncomfortable for FaZe, but Guardian does find one kill, and there it is. Okay, they stabilized, but man, that did not look like they were having a good time there, making their way towards A. Lots of incendiaries coming towards them, flashbangs and smokes, and awkward kills as well. Lucky to be alive. That grenade thrown towards the A side as Croman was planting. He had like 14 HP. They should have taken him down, but it narrowly misses him, and they live to tell the tale. There it is. Next, what a fantastic job with the M4A4. This is great to see him returning some form, considered the best player in Germany for some time, and then he just went completely absent, but having a resurgence of sorts here in Cologne. Very fitting time to do so. His home country, and you can see FaZe, even after winning the round, still have Carrigan on a pistol. Guardian gets the AWP, but still yet to post consecutive rounds in the second half. Can they do it here?
Still with a decent lead, though. And if they get one more, they're on overtime, which means they can inch it out, but consecutive has been a problem. 3 ops in the round. Finally, Guardian with one more. Nico, meanwhile, spraying through the door. Same play. Molotov down. Spray for transfer. Coleman takes damage from Goppy, who manages narrowly to get away and somehow unscathed in doing so, but Guardian is out from middle. Oh, smartly. They call it firebox for a reason. Next will give up position by extinguishing it. That doesn't allow Guardian the position. Anticipates that Next might try and get up above, but instead he flushes them out, pushes them back, and that'll buy more space for Big.
It will. This is looking like a B split, though. There's baiting out those initial incendiaries and smokes from the CT forces. Nico anticipating a short push. He would be correct. Copies there. Tizian doing what he can with the M4. Not quite enough, though, as he has to go for a reload. There it is, the push from short. Nico is expecting it, but he can't find the shots whatsoever. 2 kills for the in-game leader, as Carrigan only has a CZ here, desperately trying to make it work. He does get 1 kill, but Goppy basically bayonets him in the back there.
That's bomb, and it's way out in the B tunnels. With 13 seconds, this round's already over. Nothing that can be done, even if they'd found that kill. Guardian just wants to hold on to his AWP. You said it, successive rounds continue to be the curse. It's 14-12.
Huge reset coming through. They'll get $1,400 per player, and Smooya might be able to take down Guardian. Didn't quite spot the head. So Guardian does have the AWP. Does that mean they're going to force buy here? I would say, oh, it's such a difficult call. Probably not. They're going to get $1,900 next round. Everyone has around 2K. I think you get P250s with this AWP, maybe a couple of smokes, and that's why they're going to call the timeout right now. What seemed like a really simple procedure here for FaZe to close this one out has gone horribly, horribly wrong for them. Got B with all the plays. 1 kill and 11 deaths at one point. He's pulling it right back. 30 kills with Next, just to note. And Nico, he's on 20, man, so he got to 18 very early on. I think round number 10 in the first half, he got to 18. He's now on 20. Hasn't really done much at all in the second half. And I think it all stems from that moment. He got taken down from God from long. He looked so frustrated. He actually hasn't posted. He didn't post a kill in the second half for 6 rounds.
Guardians would have absolutely loved to have picked up a cross kill, but can't do it. Nico, mind you, look at the pace he's got. Smooya's got composure. Pace versus grace as Tapson finds Croman as well. Tizian holding close to the smoke, expecting flashes to go deep through them, but he's lost middle. He's awkwardly left in the open, and that means they're going to try and run him down. Surely it'll work because it's a broad obtuse angle. He has to try and hold it. Carrigan gets a clean shot. Smooya back out with an aid. Bomb needs to be the goal, but look where it is. It's back towards spawn. They weren't expecting perhaps to get B so quickly. Smooya nails Carrigan, jumping up behind the box. And Bomb's halted. It's still at the mouth of the tunnels. They're going to be aware that it's not being planted just by pushing through the doorway. They don't need to do much at this. In fact, despite not being in the site, they force the hand of FaZe. Rain, his hand force will go out. No! Oh my goodness, Rain!
Oh,
You'd
clear
expect it.
skies today because he should have easily gotten 2 from that.
Yeah, a player of his caliber should be at least getting a kill as he has too many targets, and Smooya is besting Guardian now. They have around $4,000, maybe a bit less, $3,500 per player here. They're going to have to buy. Thorin's tweet coming in. I think someone's having some fun in the back.
No, I mean, that from Rain is just unbelievable. They were fully flashed. I said that they definitely put the pressure on FaZe to make the play. They tried, but Rain just uncharacteristically highest rated player coming into today in this entire event, and he could not land, let alone 2 kills, which I think he should have had with them both being blind. Couldn't even find 1.
Indeed. It was a great play by them. They knew they had their backs to the wall at that point, had to make a play, and it was a nice idea. Flash over, perfect flash. Guardian couldn't have helped him out anymore. And I think sometimes you have too many opportunities in front of you. It's difficult to choose which one's going to be correct. Yeah, you can see the big fans now really up and about.
That looks pretty good, actually.
That does look nice.
Some solid art.
So, Bai comes in, big looking to tie things up. I can't believe this has even happened. It all stemmed from that second round force Bai that got them into the game. This might be a straight up B rush. There's only one player waiting for them as well. That's Tizian. Flashbang lands, and so does Nico's headshot. That's his second kill of the half. As smoke goes down, but what an important one it could be. It's up to Smooya. He's been so good in this second half as well. Goes through with the AWP, and it will cost him his life. He wanted to deny the plant, and now that is going to be round number 15 on the board as FaZe have bullied big off the B bomb site.
Yeah, and that's just the game of inches. That's all they had to do at this point in time. Take advantage of the lead, take it slowly. So overtime at least secure, but I don't think this is done by any means. The way that Big have been playing, they've been pulling every round back immediately after. You said it, rounds in succession, Henry.
Sure.
I'm going for consecutive rounds have been a trouble for them, and saving up weapons, they almost have to do so because they are getting worn down. It went from 4 rounds to 3 rounds to 2 rounds, which is indicative that maybe it's going to only be 1 this time if that pattern continues. They need 2 to force out OT.
Absolutely so. So 3 players to hold on to their weaponry here. It's not really worth going for a 5-on-3 retake against the likes of FaZe. It's just not a battle that's going to go too well for you. But FaZe keep all 5 alive, and it was that great kill from Nico. Like I said, that's only his second of this particular half, and we're in round number 14 of it. There we go. But it was one of the most important kills he'll probably get in the series as he gets them to map point. Now big pressure firmly applied towards them. Great shot by Nico. Well reacted. Tizian was unlucky with that one. Good positioning. Sometimes you can make no mistakes and still be taken down by some of the best. Croman gets flashed at the start. Oh, it's a little bit awkward here for FaZe. They lose the first player. Carrigan's heavily tagged up, even more so now. And this could be them falling apart once more after winning the previous round.
I'll be thinking that perhaps they've gotten out wrong. We'll throw away some utility behind the dumpster. Speaking of dumpster, get inside, Guardian. Smooya holds off the door. It's a 2-man advantage. And what is one of 2 rounds they'll need? Smooya's fully blind, manages just barely to get away. Surprising that Nico doesn't extend to find that kill, but he's worried perhaps about anyone toward B and window specifically that would have been able to spot him out in doing so. Very close from Smooya. A boost up, double up in CT. Smoke down means they can actually spot Nico as he gets toward the top of the ramp, and Tabson's well aware of that. Tizian in his sight, and it's low HP to fire at. It should be straightforward to find Carrigan and to find round 30.
Well, there you have it. They went for the long spawn, but as ever, greeted by a barrage of flashbangs and HE grenades. I think they might have flashed himself as well, as Croman had bounced the flashbang off the initial door. I think it caught him slightly. They lose the first player. Carrigan goes under 20. It pushes them over towards that B bomb site again, hoping they could find similar luck. But Tizian looks much better this time. Carrigan feeling the burn now.
Yeah, that's a bit of stress on his face.
Yeah, he knows this will be a catastrophe if they lose this map. They had a huge lead. And FaZe, they can do this sometime. Magical halves.
Train is next as well.
A tactical map.
Yes. And a map where AWPs matter, and there's a lot of close angles. Look, Nico's very good on it. Not
just on the AWP. Guardian's exceptional, but I think Smooya's making a case to be a quick opper, and Train could absolutely suit him.
Yeah, he's very fast, very precise, and aggressive. As we go into the final round, will Big be able to take us to overtime here? Crowd certainly want it. As the chants begin, it was looking so woeful in the first half. No one could find anything. But now in round number 30, almost in touching distance of overtime. God B, what are you doing?
No need.
He was
No
baited
need.
in, I think, by the jumping. He thought they were up to something like a boost. I'm not sure. He just runs in without a flashbang, and that could cost him the map.
You're highly right in suggesting that something gave him that indication, because he has not done that all map.
I think they were trying to bait out the fact they were boosting behind the box or something like that, and he took the bait and runs into their little trap there. As tabseN has to start any more shots, and luckily he does. 4 and 4 again.
Keep in mind that next is at car as well, so tabseN can lure them that direction. They've already started the rotation back through CT. That's Tizian toward A. Nico again is on the lurk. But focus on long, because this is all that matters at this point. If they can get that bomb across, they've got a chance. Smoke down, doesn't matter. Tizian finds one, and Rain runs to tabseN. And you can take notes, but you better keep tabs, because him on an AWP, he shuts down A once again. Guardian and Nico, all that remain for FaZe to try and close it out before we have extra rounds.
My God, how has it got to this point? 3 on 2. tabseN with the AWP, not missing a beat right now. Nico about to walk into his crosshair. Here we go. Down he goes. And it looks like we're going to overtime. Yes, we are. They've done it. They've pulled it back from nothing. It looked like they've been absolutely outclassed on Dust2. Their map pick. But they grounded out every single round. Shut down to the money of FaZe. Destroyed it almost. After winning the pistol, FaZe just looked shambolic in the second half. Shook up. And there we have it. It's all reset now. Big believe they can do this. And we go into the first round of overtime here. We do not switch. Big will stay in the CT forces. Everyone has 16K.
Exactly, 16K Dust2. We might see some interesting antics on the T side to bring out AWPs and try and spot the door.
That's true. That has always been a big controversial point in Dust2 overtimes. Normally in the third round you'll see that.
And before Dust came back, we used to run 10K in overtime. It never was an issue. Now that it is back, everyone thought, well, we can go to 16K. It's not in the pool. It becomes a bit more of a problem, if you want to call it that, or a tactic, depending on how you look at it. Guardian takes the early damage. Back down to 28 as they aggressively try and not only ascertain, but obtain entirely the control of middle.
The CT side, tabseN looks pretty spot on. And looks like we've got that mid control for FaZe once more. Rain and Guardian peeking towards CT, and indeed the window. Tizian low. Rain's presumably going to take him down here. The flashbangs are pretty brutal. Rain makes his commitment, but there is a player at the back still. That's going to be Smooya. Nothing he can do about that. And CT's might as well give it a little go here, considering it is 16K as Godby pushes towards long. Nico doesn't want to miss this shot again. Oh, it wasn't the cleanest, but he got it. 5 on 2. That should be the round now.
Yeah, big know it. 16K, there's not really a ton of need, to save for it, but they just elect to fall off of it anyway. Nico's going to find tabseN, so they get the 16th round, just one later than they would have liked to. FaZe have struggled to get 2 rounds in a row all together on the T side, so there's still a chance Big can pull this overtime back. Next we'll get Rain to just salvage some pride. 2 HP, but again, money not important. The score is all that matters. 18-18, we do it again, but 19 closes it.
First round for FaZe. It was the nice mid control and early tag towards Tizian. It granted them entry. Rain was the one with the job of walking through the window to find 2 kills. Luckily, Smooya not looking his direction. His teammates did a great job from the B tunnels just to keep his attention firmly on the mouth of the tunnel there. Round number 2. Double AWP set up again. And you can see some CTs, especially the AWPers, won't buy helmets. So sure, you have 16K, but still, if you buy double AWPs 3 rounds in a row, you still can run out of certain bits of utility. As tabseN has been so good so far, that's an easy shot for him. Finds Carrigan. Does he want it a little bit more? He's going to hold a more defensive line at this point and maintain the advantage.
Thought Rain might try and run him down, but he wasn't quite as close as I'd seen. Gets away with one, and Rain is tagged onto 41, so they've got a hefty advantage to work with. Smoke down at door will close off the close angles, but there still is that height advantage of having catwalk. Tizian has to be fully aware of that, should he want to peek out. Speaking of the catwalk, they'll light it on fire. Next to do so. Throw a nade as well. Doesn't really do anything.
Does not.
About 3 damage, I think.
They're going to try and challenge A again. I think this will be a fake of their execution. I think they'll drop the same smoke towards short, CT spawn, and they'll either maybe not jump Rain down there or just throw Rain only and then go back towards B. That's what I predict. That's the way Carrigan would call this, I'd imagine, but we'll see. So Rain drops the smoke, and indeed he'll try and drop down. Not quite, he's going for the straight up duel here. Where is he right now? Oh, he's just sat in the smoke, so okay. Still alive and kicking for now. But Roman, not so much. Great stuff. As FaZe are looking pretty average in this round. Not really much happening for them. Nico does have the B side, but the bomb is down towards middle.
Tizian and Gobby, good crossfire. They'll take back around. 16-16. Time was bleeding out as well for FaZe, so it was unlikely they were going to get anywhere. So they got shut down with Cat on 3 different occasions by utility. A tie once more. Both teams struggling on the T side, so Big, you would argue, needs this. But anything can happen at this point.
Here we go, Matt.
Oh yes, this is exactly what we talked about. The 16K overtime, Dust2. Now this is where a lot of people debate. Remember, it used to be 10K the last time it was in the pool. 3 auto snipers and 2 AWPs.
It's quite the cocktail.
And the reason you can get away with this is because as soon as you're done with them, the other weapons are on the ground to pick up after.
Yeah, so what do you do on the CT side? You smoke and presumably you hold up.
I think you almost have to, if you're playing Dust2 on the CT side in overtime, and it's round 3, I think you just expect it. You just get ready for it.
Especially with pause, they're already talking right now. How can we avoid this?
Yeah, exactly right.
Oof. Is he okay?
Bit stressed.
Well, here we go. This could be explosive, ladies and gentlemen. 5 snipers ready and waiting. We've seen this before as the bullets rain in. Nothing connecting, unfortunately. And Smooya has got across.
This is actually smart. They definitely talked about it. They sent 1 across, but they sent 2 to Cat. So that way they could still get some mid-control, and if they wanted to try and pursue off of any damage that they had, there was an answer for it. It's the boost to get on the corner. Remember, Nico got the kill on this in the first half. Might be time to return that favor. Double up, as always. Next to Card, no one at long. Little does FaZe know as they start to try and take that position. It'll be inherited, just given to them. Again, this car, it's powerful in that you can't be seen behind it anymore, but the Molotov, oh, next, 16, he's desperate at this point! That's pretty good! Take matters into your own hands!
Yeah, that's a victory in itself, even if he goes down there. How he's surviving, I have no idea. Another opening pick here for Big. This is the final round of the first half of overtime. Twizian is going to be towards those doors, and he needs to be very careful. He seems to have Carrigan's number, but not his body.
Hang on,
they'll
though.
take him down.
Yes, Scotty, he knew he was there. He had that information, he had the angle. He plays it back. Guardian, however, takes taps, and that opens up the site. It's the 1-man advantage, only just, as Rain sits on 4. And it's Gobby that has to be the hero. Ooh, he wants down. I think he was spotted, certainly was. Rain's low, 8 seconds. He just wanted to get close so he could try and deny the bomb. Gets through with a flash, jumps around, but Nico's ready for that, and Smooya suddenly left. And a 1 versus 3! And by the King's decree, His Majesty, again jumping up, but shut down by Guardian. As it's 17 for FaZe, they'll find 2 back-to-back. Actually, excuse me, not quite, but either way, 2 on the T side to win out the overtime half at the very least.
Goodness gracious, it felt like it was happening again. How many jumping shots is this kid gonna get? Doesn't look too relaxed, but still good effort by him. You can see Lagia just working and focusing on Smooya. Doesn't have much big stage experience or playing against this sort of caliber, as he's just trying to calm him down, keep his head in the game. He's going to be one of the star players of this squad. Need to keep him calm. There we go. Next half begins. Double orb set up on the T side here. God B joining Smooya. And this is a similar story for FaZe, of course. Nico and Guardian were incredibly successful on their CT side. One round will do it for FaZe just to guarantee double overtime. No opening damage just yet. Smooya can't connect. Going for long once more. Remember, we did talk about this quite a lot.
Albeit, the edge of that smoke. One step further. Might have had a problem. He's got an angle that favors him at this point in time, but there's a timer on that angle.
It does need to consider falling back right now. Desperately wants his first pick.
I think that smoke's gone to the point now where he can't even get around it. Not be spotted getting to the doorway. Meanwhile, back toward mid. Nico trying to do battle against Smooya. Finds. They'll win one at long. Tizzy into charge. Goes down, but Godby pulls it back. Smooya, just to note, as I was looking into it, has 19 kills, but he's had a ton of impact on that AWP. Godby now will hold the Anglican anchor from pit. Croman, meanwhile, as they did so often on their CT side, as soon as A is lost, goes on the hunt.
It's just textbook Dust2. That's what you should be doing. You have to take a gamble and try and get it back. But Nex...
Hiyoshima used to be extremely good at it as well, but...
Oh, what?
You were right. Nex was watching for it.
Yeah, I thought that was a lock-in, but Croman somehow gets away with it. FaZe now a Guardian towards short. Time ticking away as Big will make their way towards long. That's with the Bombers. They've still got utility to cross. Maybe not a smoke though. I'm not sure what they're going for. They're going to Molotov over. Guardian can shut this one down, Matt. They've got no real chance apart from flashing him. And all just doing that. Maybe just do that. That's fine as well.
That's something they didn't have in the first half. Tabson was ice cold the entire first half, and they did not win those duels. It was the exact same play. Croman pushes out. He doesn't get much. Guardian favors off to Catwalk once they lose long. We saw that many times and to great success, but the change is Tabson as he finds yet again onto Rain and leaves us with just Croman. HP firmly favoring him, but bomb already planted. See if he can replicate Smooya. I don't know if anyone is quite in favor of the RNG gods quite so much. And it's Tizzy in from range, 17-17.
Round 5. FaZe losing his opening picks. Nico, a little bit back and forth in terms of the shots he's hitting, but Tabson anything but. He really has delivered in the latter stages of his first map. What a brilliant shot. They didn't have the utility to cross, but they certainly had the headshots. Guardian now looking for an important presence towards middle. Hits Smooya. Can't find the frag. Takes him down to 21 HP. As Godby has been good on this orb. Getting picked where required. Smoke will come in though. Blocks his vision. Oh, or is it? He hits Croman, anticipates the jump up toward the platform. And they'll trade out leg shots here with the orbs. Smooya low, and now Croman.
Rain pushing up. Gets in behind the door after the utility was already deployed, so he actually might have an advantage on this. Enough time has gone on. Smooya thinks he's got the angle, thinks he's clever enough to spot that, but enough time's gone on. They should still consider it, should they elect to go toward mid. Kill on the wall. One and drop. One and drop, and somehow gets the opportunity because Godby got the shot off first. It went through the wall. That leaves Nico alive on 16.
4 on 5. Godby to drop first. Less than a minute now, Tizian. I think his presence known, but he saw that grenade come through. Kerrigan does reposition. Bomb making his way towards shore. Nico, low HP. This is a difficult situation. There'll be flashbangs, smoked, Molotovs all over the place. One bullet will take him down.
Good shot, Nico. Not a lot to fire at above the box, but he finds Tabson. That drops the bomb temporarily. Nex is back in position, mind you. Nico's looking sharp. Tagged again. 16 still. Kerrigan over the wall. It's just Tizian. And it should be map point first for FaZe with lots of time left on the clock to do so. It's 18-17.
Seems like a distant memory now where FaZe were just running around, finding every single kill, looking like they were having too much fun. Managed to get the 11-4. Felt like a formality when they got a second half pistol, but here we are on the cusp of double overtime. Big looking for the first shots here. Smooya doesn't spot anything as the smoke goes down. Double orb set up once again, and this is a faster approach this time from Big. They'll be throwing that CT spawn smoke in quickly. They want to try and surprise him, but that's missed. It has horribly missed. I think they've re-thrown it, and or it actually doubles up so they can't have boosted players, I guess. That makes sense.
That would be one way to make it work. Guardian missed a shot. He makes up for it. Croman! The straw man's not so brittle as he walks back out to take down Tizian, and Smoothie next makes a response, but they're still down a man, and this is it. This is map point for FaZe. They have to win this to force out double overtime. Double up setup, mind you, for the CTs, which can cost them should the bomb go down. That, in turn, is a problem in itself because they do have to bypass the position of Nico, and in the last round we saw how ample he was to shutting everyone down. They'll keep their heads low, but not low enough. That was about a pixel to fire at, and Nico nails it. It's all to Gob B.
Been good so far, Matt, but this might be too much of a tall order. We'll see what he can do. Needs to get that bomb down first. Guardian beneath him. Nico towards long. And he's going to get this first kill convincingly. Now he's got a chance. The bomb can actually go down here. Both CT players removed from the sites. Gob B, 60 HP, but now 0. And it wasn't a pretty finish, Matt. A huge struggle towards the end, but FaZe do pick up Dust2 there.
It's heartbreaking as well because you come back from 11-4 and you do such a fantastic job to get there. But overtime and a recovery from a number of players will be beneficial and encouraging heading to train. Nonetheless, it's FaZe up 1-0 in a semi-final. Remember, I say it again, if they make the final, they've got a chance to be Grand Slam champions. Big want other ideas. Double up setup, taps in, not bad.
Not bad at all. He's actually looking fantastic. And yes, you say it's the most gutting way to lose, but at least they've warmed up. They've taken FaZe to overtime. They know they can be competitive now. They know they can fight back. And it was their map pick, but there it is. There's still 2 more maps to go potentially.
And next, as you say, the king of Dust2 in ages gone by, 34 kills again to lead the way. In fact, led the entire server. We'll see if he can continue on such good form. Berlin International Gaming have to come back strong on train. We'll take a break.
Incendiary out.